Morning. I'm out there in the yard shooting this refresh kit video. And I'm going to talk more about why the body needs this program. So let's talk about digestion. Let's talk about something we do every day. But let's understand what's really going on. That when when we see food, our brain starts the body down the digestive process. When you see a nice meal and you start to salivate, that's the digestive process. That the enzymes in the mouth start being produced, salivation, and that as soon as you start chewing that food, it starts breaking it down. Then we swallow it, it gets into the stomach. In the stomach, more gastric juices are added, and then it moves into the intestines. Now this is the interesting part. The intestines has little fingers, little pieces coming off the walls of the intestines, and these little villi give the intestines a much wider surface area than just being a long tube. So it's a long tube with lots of little fingers coming out, and these fingers are where food is absorbed. Unfortunately, certain types of processed foods cause the body to have an inflammatory reaction, that we get inflammation in the body when we eat certain foods. And what happens is that we start taking things for inflammation. We start, using antacids and using other products in order to manage the inflammation in the body. But in fact, it's the food. Just don't put the food in your body. It's not that your body is reacting inappropriately. It's that the food is undigestible to the body. So when it gets into those little villi and the mucous membrane that the saliva and the gastric juices have secreted from the lymphatic tissue to protect the body from those processed foods, it ends up creating a coating over the villi. It takes time, over years. So you say, well, how comes this didn't happen to people 200 years ago? Well, they weren't eating processed foods. So is it really just processed foods? And this, I want to talk specifically about one of the main processed foods, wheat. And wheat in our diet, somewhere around the 80s, 1980, the pharmaceutical industry and the agricultural industry joined forces and developed a new kind of wheat. And this is a wheat that has Roundup Ready. So this is where the pesticides are already. You've heard all of this before. But what's happening is that those pesticides are killing the gut flora. So the microbes in your body that should be breaking down foods, number one, because the foods are processed, they're actually protecting those foods and storing them away as abnormal body fat. And then what should be there and is digested is just not there. It's not in the food. The food has been depleted of its nutritional value. And that's why we need you to understand, become aware of these changes, so you start looking at food in a whole different way. And in the 21-day program or the 10-day program, you're going to learn and see and get this at a much higher level than when you did the program the first time. That the first time we were just about it works, follow the instructions and it works. But now you need to understand why it's working, what it's really doing, and why it's so important for you to pay attention, become aware of the choices that you're making throughout the day. So let's talk about breakfast for a second. Breakfast is coming at a time in the day based on the circadian rhythm. What's the circadian rhythm? Every cell, whether animal or plant, goes through three basic functions in every 24-hour period. It brings food in, it breaks food down, and it eliminates the waste product out. You have to give your body a chance to do that. In the morning, your body is about elimination. Anybody go into the bathroom first thing in the morning? Most of us do. That's the clock. That's the way we've been designed. That nature has it that in the mornings we're eliminating, we're cleaning out the digestive system. When you eat, you interrupt the elimination process and stop the body from cleaning itself out. The body says, okay, there's food, let's clean it, let's deal with the food. As you go through the day, the body is you're eating more, you're having your lunch, you're having your dinner, and at night, your body is overloaded, it's stressed out. That's why you're not sleeping well. If you gave up breakfast, you'd be surprised at how much more energy you have, how much weight you lose, and how much better you sleep. Now, if that was the case, that everybody would just give up breakfast and they would be perfectly fine, we'd be out of business. The reality is, when you're giving up breakfast, you're triggering the body to go into the dysfunctional digestive system. Let's be clear. The dysfunctional digestive system, when you give up breakfast, is going to make you suffer. And that's why the detox is so important. It gets rid of the negative experience and pain of and discomfort of starvation, bloating, headaches, and all of those things that we go through. So I just thought it was important that I explain this, so we understand that we're not just doing it because we're talking out our ear. We're talking about science. It's a science-based program, and it makes perfect sense. And what does it mean? That we never eat those foods that could cause inflammation in the body? Well, I have tried to reduce them significantly, but at the same time I do eat them, and because I don't eat as much as I used to, I can still maintain good health and good energy to look and feel my best naturally.